Here's a short briefing on how to use the Redbird Flight Simulator at Air Associates of Kansas for the students and renters that wish to come in and use our simulator. Of course, make sure you're practicing proper sanitization during times like these. And the first thing you'll do is grab the book and the iPad from the front desk to run the simulator with. Let's go. So here we are across the hangar at the Flight Simulator Lab, right across from the front desk. First thing you'll do when you get in here is open up the binder for the simulator, put down your name, the date, and then we'll put the Hobbs out time, which we'll get from inside the simulator. Here we've got the G1000 avionics set up, and if you want a different avionics setup in here while you're using the sim, you can talk to the line service and they can switch that out for you. You just want to make sure everything's off as it normally would be inside the airplane, and the most important step here is making sure these 5 circuit breakers are all pushed in, because sometimes they're out when you start up the simulator. So very important to make sure the circuit breakers are not out. Alright, we're behind the sim now. This is arguably the most important step. This is a 3-step process to turn the sim on. We got the power box right here that we'll turn on first. Just give it a second, verify that your load meters are showing and everything. Then we'll move on to the second computer here. We got a fan going with a light. And then we'll move to the third bus here. It's a 3-step process, very important. Next up, hit the green button on the simulator right here to start the calibration for the motion system.
All right, now that we're all prepped to use the simulator, you're going to take your iPad that we grabbed from the front desk earlier, and we'll log in. So sometimes it'll be unlocked, but other times you're going to need a password. So the password for this is going to be the tail number of one of the planes. It's also written in your aircraft book for the Redbird. So after that is entered and you unlocked, you're going to verify a few things just to make sure that we're set up the way we want to be. So you should be connected to Redbird Wi-Fi, and you'd be able to tell if you weren't, if for some reason the navigator was not loading when you opened up the iPad. So from here, now that we have the navigator ready and armed, what we're going to do is we're going to verify once again that the aircraft is set up back to a 0 stage. So we want to have everything shut off like we normally would, especially the circuit breakers. So I've got 2 popped out here, and make sure that those circuit breakers are in before I load up any flights. So now that I've verified that those are all reset to where they need to be, I'm just going to go through and select whatever scenario that I want to use. So I'm going to start right here with KOJC C-172 cleared for takeoff. So this is going to load us onto the runway in the Skyhawk with the G1000 panel ready for takeoff. Okay, so now that our flight is loaded up from the iPad, what we're going to do is we're going to verify the time on our flight summary sheet and that it corresponds with the Hobbs meter on the right side of our panel. So as you may have noticed, whenever we load a flight, the flight will load paused. Whenever you're ready to engage in the flight, you're going to hit the pause button on the right side to unpause the sim. Now you'll grab your checklist and you're ready to fly. Alright, so whenever your flight has been completed and you're ready to terminate your procedures for the day, there's 2 ways to shut off the flight. The first would be to hit the end flight button on the iPad under the instructor station, or you can hit the end key over on the right side of the panel. Either one will do the same. It'll terminate your flight and return you back to 0. After this, you're going to want to go ahead and make sure that you've reset the plane to a shutdown or terminated configuration.
Okay, now that you're done with your simulator session for the day, we'll shut the simulator down with the same 3-step process as before, but in reverse order this time. So starting with the sim battery, we will turn it off, wait for it for just a second to stop. And then we'll move to computer number 2. Hold down the power button for a few seconds and the fan and the light will both shut off. Then we'll move to number 3 and we'll just hold down the power button until we hear a beep. Action.
So once you're done shutting down the sim and you've got everything recorded, you're going to bring your iPad and your book back up to the front desk. That way it can be dispatched. After that, you're going to continue executing proper health habits by using your hand sanitizer. Thanks, I hope this helps.